The PGA Tour is facing a crisis unlike anything in its history. Three major sponsors have turned their backs on the tour in recent months, and the reasons behind the exodus have sent shockwaves through the golf world. Farmers Insurance is out, Rocket Mortgage is gone, Wyndham is walking away, and the golf world is demanding answers. Farmers Insurance, a $29.8 billion insurance giant, has cut all ties with the PGA Tour after 17 years of sponsorship. The company, which rescued the Torrey Pines tournament in 2010 when Buick pulled out amid bankruptcy, has decided to walk away. It has been a tremendous sponsor of the PGA Tour, and we cannot thank them enough for their support of the Farmers Insurance Open over the last 17 years, the tour said in a statement. The decision marks the end of a partnership that began as a last-minute rescue. Farmers stepped in on Martin Luther King Jr. Day in 2010 with a one-year deal that saved our bacon, according to tournament officials. That emergency agreement turned into nearly 2 decades of support. During the Farmers era, the tournament generated approximately $20 million in cash donations, $5 million in-kind contributions, and 12,000 hours of volunteer work. The sponsorship was deeply integrated into the San Diego community, but now it's over. The exit had been expected for years. Sports Business Journal reported 2 years ago that Farmers Insurance had told the PGA Tour it would not renew its sponsorship agreement when its contract ended in 2026. In December 2025, Farmers was announced as a founding partner and official insurance partner of TGL, the indoor golf league co-founded by Tiger Woods. The $14 billion insurance giant is just the beginning.
Wyndham Hotels and Resorts will not return as a PGA Tour sponsor, halting a 20-year run after its deal expired this year. The company, worth roughly $5.4 billion, had sponsored the Greensboro tournament since 2007, but is walking away instead of renewing with new terms. The breaking point appears to be the tour's new two-tiered system. The cost for a championship series sponsor is reportedly $30 million or higher per year and increases annually. Lawmakers in North Carolina even proposed $40 million in state funding to help Greensboro secure a championship series spot, but even that wasn't enough to keep Wyndham. The North Carolina General Assembly offered the tour up to $40 million in an attempt to keep the Wyndham Championship in the top tier of the new two-tiered alignment the tour is moving to in 2028. The bill states that the PGA Tour would have to enter into a binding agreement with the Piedmont Triad Charitable Foundation, requiring the tour to hold at least 4 annual qualifying events. Among those events is a PGA Tour Championship Series event that is held for the highest tier ranking of professional golfers. Raymond James is likely to take over the Greensboro tournament, which will slide into the tour's top-tier championship series in 2028. But the damage is done. A 20-year partnership has ended. 20 years ago, our PGA Tour event was in a difficult position, wrote Bobby Long, the co-chair of the Piedmont Triad Charitable Foundation Board of Directors in this year's Tournament magazine. Now that relationship is over. The message is clear. Sponsors are being priced out. Rocket Companies, the Detroit-based mortgage lender founded by billionaire Dan Gilbert, is ending its 13-year run as a title sponsor after the 2026 Rocket Classic. The company, under its former Quicken Loans name, has spent more than $150 million as a sponsor of the PGA Tour, including more than $100 million during the Rocket Classic's run in Detroit. The decision severs Gilbert's decade-plus sponsorship. The tournament raised more than $10 million for local organizations and helped bridge the digital divide in Detroit. But the challenges were mounting. The tour was looking at the event as a potential Track 1 tournament for its 2028 schedule, but Rocket wasn't willing to invest the $30 million plus that's being asked for those title sponsors. Under its current deal sponsoring a full field event, Rocket was likely paying in the $15 to $18 million range, roughly half of what the tour now demands. After nearly 13 years as a PGA Tour title sponsor, including 8 years in Detroit, 2026 will mark the final Rocket Classic, said tournament director Mark Hollis in a statement to the Detroit News. Detroit deserves a PGA Tour event, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where the tour is going, but we've got to work our hardest to make sure that we bring a PGA Tour event back to Detroit. The tour responded by saying it remains interested in the Detroit market and will explore options for a new sponsor. But with the Rocket Classic's departure, the PGA Tour has replaced it on the schedule with a tournament sponsored by Japanese insurer Sompo in Napa, California. The company that revived golf in Detroit is walking away, and the tour is losing a $150 million partner.
These departures are not random. They represent a pattern that has the golf world demanding answers. Multiple sources have revealed that the tour's new two-track system is driving sponsors away. The cost for a top-tier championship series event is reportedly $30 million or higher per year and increases annually. Track 2 events, by contrast, would cost $12 to $15 million, but the fields would be significantly weaker, with top players barred from competing. It's another Corn Ferry Tour, one tournament director told Golfweek. Who's going to pay up for that? The tour's new two-tier system, set to debut in 2028, requires sponsors to commit $20 million plus to compete in the new Championship Series tier. BMW is willing, others aren't. While BMW's $40 billion partnership with the tour is expected to survive, with the BMW Championship drawing 150,000 fans and selling out corporate hospitality, many other sponsors have either ended their contracts or are negotiating changes. Even the FedEx Cup umbrella is under threat. The FedEx St. Jude Championship will not be part of the Championship Series, and organizers will break up the three-event playoff. FedEx showed disappointment over this decision by the PGA Tour, and its continued sponsorship of the season-long points race remains uncertain. The tour is effectively telling sponsors, pay $30 million or you're second class. Not all the news is bad. While 3 major sponsors are walking away, others are stepping in. Century Insurance, a $29.8 billion company, is reportedly taking over the Torrey Pines event starting in 2027. The rebranded tournament will be called the Century and will serve as the curtain raiser to the PGA Tour's network debut on CBS. Century CEO Pete McPartland said, "This tournament will be elevated in terms of its overall importance within the tour, beyond even what Kapalua was. I believe that any golfer that has the opportunity to golf in this tournament will, in fact, want to be here." The PGA Tour has also solved its $20 million problem. The Century at Kapalua was canceled in 2026 because of a water rights dispute at Maui's Plantation Course. The tour confirmed that neither the Kapalua event nor the Sony Open will be on the 2027 schedule, marking the first time in 56 years that the PGA Tour will have an event in Hawaii. But the concerns remain. The PGA Tour's new two-tier system is creating a divide between the haves and have-nots. Sponsors are being priced out, traditional events are being relegated, and the golf world is demanding answers. The tour is losing its long-term partners, but it's finding new ones. The question is whether the new model can sustain itself.
The PGA Tour is facing a crisis unlike anything in its history. Farmers Insurance, Wyndham, and Rocket Mortgage, 3 major sponsors representing decades of investment, have all walked away. The reasons are clear. The tour's new two-tier system is pricing sponsors out and devaluing the events that built the sport. The questions now are impossible to ignore. Can the tour survive without its long-term sponsors? Will the two-tier system create a sustainable model, or will it drive away the partners who have supported the tour for decades? And what does the exodus say about the future of professional golf? One thing is certain, the battle is far from over, and the golf world will be watching every move.